As a matter of fact, if you put up no resistance, you relax and let go, you're less likely to do wrong because you're like turning yourself over to God to take over within you. And because you know that this is not what you want to do. And so you just don't know how to get rid of it. You're tired of battling with it, fighting it, trying to let it go because you know that it's wrong. The problem is the moment you can let it go, then it's over because you see that it's wrong. Just know that it's not what you want and let God fight your battle. Okay. Because if you just heard the young lady over there say, well, I have all this fear and I doubt and I can't. It's because she's struggling with everything. She's fighting against it. And that's what feeds this darkness that sits between your soul and God, is that playing God. Because anytime you fight against it, you're playing God. It's all ego to fight against evil. And everything, 90% of the things that we do is ego. Isn't that something? 90% of the things, and you're going to find this out when you get to know yourself. If you really get to know yourself, you're going to see that everything you do almost in life is a resistance, it's all ego, it's to make you feel better. It's not even about the other person at all. And then if you say to yourself, it's about the other person, you're still lying to yourself. That's ego too, because the reason you're saying that, because you want to feel good, thinking that you're doing something for somebody else. It's all ego. It's all ego. Isn't that amazing? Everything we do is all ego. We have to have a life of no opinion at all. Zero opinion about anything. That sound like fun, Tay? Yeah. Can you imagine having a life without any opinion?
No.
You can't imagine that?
I can't.
And why not?
Because it almost seems like you almost have to have an opinion about something.
Yeah, but you don't.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No.
Yeah, the happiest person is the person with no opinion. The happiest person is the person that deal with situations without weighing the good and the bad in it. They don't deal with it based on what they think is right. Isn't that something? Now, how do we get to that point? and that's what it means to just let go and let God. You got to let go of all of your opinions. You have to let go of anything that feeds the ego. And everything we do is about the ego. Even if we go to the gym, we'll tell ourselves, oh, we're going to the gym because we want to be healthy. That's about ego too. Or we tell ourselves, because we'll go to the gym, and what we want to do is pump, the men, such as myself, want to pump our bodies up, and then we want to look good, make sure somebody know it. It's really not about being healthy. It's about looking good. You know what I'm saying? But we'll tell ourselves things that are not true. I'm serious. We are so in darkness, it's not even funny. We are so ego. We have not let go and let God. If you were not ego-driven, you would not have a personal opinion about politics either. And because we're supposed to live a life, one mind with God, we're supposed to live a life of observation, not thinking about it and not into it like that. When you think about things, just think about how many times you had an opinion about the person you voted for, and it turns out that's not the person you thought that it was. And because you based it on right and wrong that you've learned and not what God allows you to see. And if we can get rid of the ego opinion about things, He allows us to see things as they are, and that's what we should operate by. And that way, you're never disappointed, you're never up and down about the particular person you voted for or anything. Because I remember voting for a guy out of Massachusetts, and I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, this is it. This guy is conservative, and he's going to do it up, right? He was the greatest disappointment I ever had. And I'm like, forget it. I'm done with them. And then, so we had another one who came along, and everybody was loving that one. He was a disappointment because I wasn't observing the person. I was based on what they said they would do and who they said that they were. It wasn't true. And so if I allow God to show me all things, I wouldn't be disappointed like that. An opinion is all ego because we don't know right from wrong. We cannot determine right from wrong. Just think about how many times you tried to do right in your life and it turns out wrong because you thought it was the right thing to do. We got to get away from the ego. We got to come back to God. When he said, let go, of ourselves we can do nothing. Of ourselves we know nothing. That's the truth. We don't know anything and we can do nothing. But we're still trying to because we've been intellectually taught the scriptures. Look how messed up the folks are with the degrees and things. Talking about ego at work. When you have an opinion about something, you put your hope in that too. That's why it's disappointing when it doesn't work out. And as you were saying, God only wants us to have faith in him and hope in him alone with nothing else. But opinion, when we're of our opinion about things, our hope is not in God. That's why we're disappointed with the politician. That's why we're disappointed with the friends or whatever, because we have hope in them. We hope that they be righteous. We hope that they're right. We hope this and hope that. And our faith is connected to that rather than observing it and having a little space there so you're not up and down. Because when you're one with God, you're never up and down. You're just always there. I'm telling you, it's all ego. And if you would pray, you would start to see this. If you would truly seek the kingdom of God, you will start to see what I'm telling you. Because all the way I know about it is He allowed me to see these things. I really want to know these things. And the more you seek Him, the more you come to know. He will reveal to you. He will. But you got to seek Him. When you let go of your anger and you have a pure heart, that's what you're going to put up against all spirits, a brick wall. But you can't have that wall until you let your anger go. That's a good example. You're right. You told this person what they need to do. They want to stay in the office. You're the boss, so they have to do it. Well, if you get rid of anger, your whole life will start to work that way. You're going to get to a point, if you continue and really want to overcome it, you're going to get to a point where you're going to be happy to see it. Right. Because you know that this is something you need to overcome, and God would take it away from you. You say you want to see it so you could overcome it, and then when you see it, you judge it. Oh, look how awful I am. Oh, this is terrible. So you're still playing ego. You're not observing this thing that's made a home in you. You're still playing God with it, and that's why you can't overcome it. And that's why I hear a lot of people say, oh, I see myself, but I'm not getting better. I see myself, and I just hate it. You're still playing God with it. I used to ask, well, why are you asking God to let you see yourself? He allows you to see it, and then you judge yourself for seeing it. And that's why you don't get over it. You can't put up any kind of resistance if you want to be free. And that's another resistance. Yes. That makes sense? Yes, it does. Yeah. And then these people, oh, I just hate to see my ego. It's just so hard. How dumb is that, huh? Either you want to see it and be free or you don't. Now, nothing wrong with going to the gym. Let me clear that up. Go to the gym, lie to yourself. You can say it's for food reasons, health reasons. It's good to work out. I highly recommend you exercise, run or walk or do something. So don't stop going to the gym. And you will see that you're going for that reason, but you still go. And it's good to work out. Make sure you work out. And if you don't see it for your ego, then you're good. But if you do see it, don't stop going. Because seeing it and then not having an opinion about it would change it. It would change it. And a lot of people will stop doing things because they'll say, oh, I stopped because my ego is in the way. I'm like, are you crazy? That's not a reason to stop. That's a reason to keep going. God will take care of the ego thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, I didn't pray because it's all ego. How you not going to pray because the ego's in the way? You want to get rid of that. Yeah, it'll work itself out. It will work out if you don't develop an opinion about it. You don't say, oh, I'm a bad person. I'm doing this for ego.
But they're doing it for the right reason?
Yes. God will take care of it. Absolutely. It'll work itself out. Because you notice with a workaholic, he or she would say, oh, I'm a workaholic. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to slow this down. And they'll slow it down for a day or two, week, or maybe a month, and then they'll back into it, and they'll back into it even worse. Because they had they didn't just see it as something that is all ego. They saw it, they made a decision about it, and decided that they're going to work it out. These are spiritual things. We can't work out this stuff. We just need to be the observer and allow God to work it out. Is there something? Let's say that you overly spend, you waste your money, and then all of a sudden things start tumbling down on you, crashing down, right? You know what the average person would do? And I'm guilty of having done this as well. Instead of being still and growing away from that in the right way, we'll reach outside for some help because we panic in that situation. So we'll go and borrow money from the loan office downtown somewhere or at the bank. Now we got this high interest on it. We'll panic and do something rather than slowing down so that God can kind of rebuild us the right way in it, grow in the right way. Because every time you reach outside for the answer, that's just a temporary answer. My son, for example, he used to do that, just waste money. And he would ask me for money, and I said, no. I just started saying no to him. And now he's had no one else to go through. He's managed his money, his life very well. Because he had to sink down, and then he cried out to God, and God reestablished him and showed him how to do it in the right way. But if you reach outside for anything, for love, for answers, for anything, it's just going to last for a minute. It is doing nothing for you. Because the bank can let you have some money, but in another 6 months or so, you're right back in the same hole because you're not grown away from that situation. It's still a person. You're still the same person.